Hey there, welcome to part 3 of the IS306 labs with me, Daniel, and in this video I'm going to be introducing you to Git and TortoiseGit for Windows. So let's talk about what Git is. Git is a software versioning solution, very much like SVN that you probably have played with within the software engineering course. And there is a difference between Git and SVN that you should know about if you want to be using Git. So let's go to a slide that I've prepared. So this is SVN, right? This is what you guys did with when you were in software engineering. You've got your local code, and every time you were done with the code, you committed your code to a SVN repository that was in some server somewhere. In this case, for you guys, it was online. And then each time you guys wanted to pull the latest version of the code from the repository, you guys did an update, and then it will take the latest repository, the code in repository, and update it with your local code. So that's how you guys collaborated with several people in a single code base, right? So this is SVN. Git is a lot like this, except that there is something in between. So this is Git, and on your computer you've got your local code, and each time you make a change to your code, you'll commit it, but instead of committing it online, you'll commit it to a local Git repository. So each time you're committing the code, nothing happens online, right? Everything is still on your computer, and at the end of the day, you do a push, right? In Git, they call it push, and what happens is that this repository gets merged with the one that is online on a Git server somewhere, and at the start of the day, before you start coding, you do a pull, and it'll give you the latest version from here into your local repository for you to keep doing. So the difference is that, it's like SVN, except everything is happening locally within your own machine, and then you will have to push them online, and then at the end of the day, you got to pull it down to get the latest version of the code. So that's the difference, alright? So just committing itself is not sufficient enough for the code to go online. You need to do an extra step at the end of the day, which is a push. So these are the two major differences between SVN and Git. So right now I'm going to be walking you through a Git client for Windows. I know there's some of you out there are Windows or Mac users. I'm a Mac user as well, but unfortunately this video is about Windows, alright? And fortunately we found a Git client for Windows that is based on TortoiseSVN. So TortoiseSVN is the tool that we used back in software engineering to do all our versioning, and thankfully some guys ported it over to Git as well. So if you're familiar with SVN, TortoiseSVN, you should be familiar with TortoiseGit. That's the reason why we chose it. So the first thing you gotta do is download TortoiseGit, alright, the latest version, and so it will bring you to this page, and just download the correct version for your operating system, 32-bit, 64-bit, or whatever, right? And you will also need to get my MSYS-Git, right? So when you click on this, it'll bring you to this particular page. You can get the latest featured beta and just download it. So we are going to be installing TortoiseGit first before we install the Git, and this is going to be your typical installer, just the same thing that you will find on any other installer. There's really nothing special about this. So we're just going to click next, and we're going to choose Tortoise P-Link coming from PuTTY, right, instead of the OpenSSH version, and just going to go install, and that's it. The installation is complete. Now click on Finish, and now it's time to install Git. So double click on Installer. It's the same as any other installer, nothing special. Just click Next, 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 Next. And we're going to say Use Git Bash only. Click Next, Next, and that is all. And that is the end of the installations. Once the installation is complete, you can right click anywhere on the desktop or the Windows Explorer, and you'll find all of these extra Git options as well as a Tortoise Git menu. Once you see all of this, that means that installation has been successfully complete. And also go to the Start menu and make sure that under all programs, under Git you have these two, and under TortoiseGit you find the PuTTY that we're going to be using this to generate our keys to make this all work. And that's it for part 3 of the IS306 labs. On the next episode, I'll be showing you how to use Git to update your code on your OpenShift application. If you have any questions, be sure to find me at the IS306 eLearn discussion boards, and I will do my best to answer them. and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.